Jesus said to St. Faustina, "The greater the sinner, the greater the right he has to my mercy." I believe the greater the mercy, the greater the call to mission. I'm Father Scott Giuliani with the Society of Our Lady in the Most Holy Trinity. I serve in Belize, Central America, and we are also a host of Focus Missionaries.
Hello, my name is Sister Maria of Merciful Love. I am a sister with the Society of Our Lady of the Most Holy Trinity, and I serve about 3 hours here from our mission, Divine Mercy, at our mission that borders Guatemala, Benque Viejo del Carmen. At our mission, we have 4 primary schools, a high school, and a junior college. And the pandemic really affected so many around the world. And at our mission, it was really tough to reach the children whom we serve. We've become a virtual world. During these challenging times, due to COVID, due to the pandemic, there's this phrase that would come to mind: just keep loving. Kind of like Dory when she says, just keep swimming. We just have to just keep loving who's presented before us. Whether I have a class of 1 student, whether I have a class of 3 students because of the restrictions here in Belize, or whether I have to meet a student through WhatsApp on the phone to prepare them to receive their sacraments. Just keep loving.
And we've been a host for Focus Missions for a few years now, until, of course, when COVID hit. We've had the pleasure of having many Focus missionaries come through and become part of our family and experience mission. But now things have changed. We seem to be giving more consolations to people than happy birthdays. And we have a great economic challenge here that is expected to get only worse than going to 2021. And we have the difficulty of the floods that hit, that wiped out the crops, and the concern for the food. So the mission has changed. But the mission is not something that we do. It is a part of who we are.
Hi, I'm Maria Schmitz.
And I'm Sarah Hazen, and we are SOLT missionaries in Benque Viejo del Carmen.
During the pandemic, I discerned to stay. I had great peace of God telling me that to stay here. My mom was on board with that. She said, if God called you there, why leave? His call doesn't end because of the pandemic.
And I discerned that the Lord was calling me back home to be with my family during the outbreak of the pandemic. So I waited a long 7 months before returning back to Benque Viejo and felt God calling me to return to mission.
And so the mission continues because we can't stop who we are. We can't stop sharing the light of Christ with our brothers and sisters. The more difficult it is, the more on the peripheries we need to go, and the more the Holy Spirit impels us, the more the love of Christ impels us to find the lost, to overcome the obstacles, to bring the gospel to those people.
I get to serve with 23 missionaries, young people, vibrant, on fire for the faith. And it's so exciting because when they overcame all the challenges that were put before them to even get into the country, their joy that they brought into the mission just motivated me so much more.
When the hurricanes hit a month ago, the people in the village of Cala Creek and Bullet Tree were devastated. The rivers rose so much. I didn't get to see it myself, but I never ever experienced living in a place where it could flood like that.
So as a team of missionaries, we were able to fundraise money from generous donors and purchase food bundles and cleaning supplies for the families who had been very badly affected by the hurricanes. And we were able to take these packages and deliver them to the families and feed them physically but also spiritually. And we were able to pray with the families in Spanish and give them an image of divine mercy as a reminder of hope and having hope in Jesus Christ even through these difficult times.
I call to mind the time of the floods when one area was flooded. Could not get back there, so we got a high pickup truck. And I was adamant we need to bring Christ to those people. And we brought Jesus Christ, the Blessed Sacrament, and kind of a truck procession to bring hope to that area as they were enduring the floodwaters. And going even further back, we learned that there was a family with 8 children. And it turned out, and I didn't know this at the time, it turned out they had no food, no bathroom, and the shack was almost falling apart. And when we got out there walking in water to your thigh, to waist thigh, there's this one little house standing by itself, surrounded by a body of water. And there the father came out, and he walked into the home, and there was holes in the floor, and they had no food and no gas. And this is when I'm reminded of Pope Francis reminding us that we must go to the peripheries to bring Christ. We were able to help that family in abundance, and Cesar is now very much a friend of our community. I invite you to go to the peripheries wherever you are at, whether you come to Belize on mission, or whether you go off and serve in your own communities, your own families.
Being a missionary is part of our identity. It's not just what we do, but who we are. And we are called to serve God's people no matter where we are. So I'd encourage you just to continue praying and ask God where you're called to serve and who you're called to serve, and don't be afraid to respond generously to that call.